Okay, guys, let's start. Hello, guys. This is Nona Prince. I'm with
Joshua.
and
Varun.
and this is the second time we're recording the intro because the first time I messed up, but no problem at all. So today's podcast is about the gems of Tamil cinema, and we'll be talking
Hmm.
about what we find different in Tamil cinema, why we find it so interesting, and we'll be talking about the three gems of Tamil cinema that all of us have seen: 96, Super Deluxe, and Game Over. So you can just sit back and relax, listen to it while you are sleeping, working, whatever you're doing. It's just a casual conversation, and whenever you wanted to add something to the discussion, go to the comment section, put the timestamp, and add your comment. So guys, without any delay, let's start. So first of all, who wanna go first? This time, who wants to go first?
Last time I went first. Let's
Okay.
Boss, you go first.
Okay. Yeah, so I've only seen I think around four Tamil films, and unfortunately, like the films we are talking about today, so I haven't seen 96 yet. I have to yet watch it, and I've seen Super Deluxe and Game Over, and I really like both of them. They were really good films. And overall, the thing that I've noticed is I've seen like very few Tamil films when compared to like many of your audience. So, but all the Tamil films that I've seen, they are like very good and really excellent. And I think all like four of those films that I've seen, they are all way ahead of many of the Bollywood films. So yes, I think my like the general impression that I have about Tamil cinema is they are doing really new and innovative stuff, and they are experimenting a lot with storytelling and overall the visual language of cinema. Yeah, that's it.
So guys, I just want to tell you that this is coming from a cinephile among us. He has seen English, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Thai,
Oh
whatever language exists, he has seen all the movies.
no,
So
no,
his
not like
his
that.
knowledge and
Wouldn't that make all of us a cinephile?
yeah, it does, but
Mm.
he is like on another level.
Ah.
No, no, nothing like that.
Oh, you should watch the German movie, man. It's called Look Who's Back.
Okay,
You like that?
okay,
I just assume you
I'll
like that.
okay, I'll like
Back to
I'll
the
check
Tamil
it
Yeah,
out.
movies, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, back to the
I just wanna gonna
movies.
say that. So Josh, what about you?
I'm pretty sure was just covered up everything. What I was gonna say. Okay, so I'm not sure how many Tamil movies that I've watched, but majority of the ones that I've watched are all, your recommendation, Nona Prince's recommendations, and they are. All I can say is that they are always different from your classical, like normal Bollywood movies. Like
Hmm.
it's like even was pointed out, it's like their way of storytelling, uh,
Yeah,
their
yeah, it's
way
okay, it's
of
okay.
yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Their way
That's
of
not okay.
storytelling. Sorry.
Continue. It's okay.
Their way of storytelling, their action scenes, and everything about Tamil movies, like really, or at least I find it very different from a normal Bollywood movie. So in
Hmm.
that way, I find that like different. And like from all these, like even today we're going to be discussing three movies. I've seen all of them, and yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just wanna like do a clarification to the people listening that most of us have like there are also bad films made in Tamil cinema. It's not that they only make good films, but we have only
Hmm.
seen the cream, and we are today talking about those top three movies that we think. I'm sure there are a lot more movies, and we haven't seen all of them, but these three movies I chose particularly because they are very different from each other, and they really covered the spectrum that I wanted to talk about. So that was the reason I chose these three movies. If there are more, you can tell me in the comments. But again, we are not saying there are no other good movies than these three, but just we are today discussing about these three. as a sum of what Tamil cinema is presenting us that not other cinemas are doing. Again, there can be great movies in other cinemas also, but today we are talking about Tamil cinema. Just a clarification.
It's kind of sad that
So
you have to clarify that. Like,
yeah, like some
no
people get
offense.
offended, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like having an opinion is considered an offense now.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
yes.
So
Okay.
before like what you said you have seen like more Tamil films. Can you name what else you have seen?
I've seen this ROV, and there was another film called Too Late. So I think both of them are on Amazon Prime. I saw there only. Yeah.
Yeah, I've getting a lot of recommendation to watch ROV. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it
yeah.
yet,
No, you
and
should watch it.
people are gonna kill me. I've been so late in watching them, and they have been after me for weeks now. I'll get to them, guys.
Yeah.
I'll get to them.
Yes, yes. I'll watch 96 only if you watch ROV.
Oh, don't challenge me. Don't challenge me. I'll watch
Okay.
it right now and ask you to watch
Okay,
96.
okay, okay.
So, let's
Hmm.
move on. And, I'm sure, like, even in childhood, there a lot of South Indian movies were put on in TV in the language.
Hmm.
And I'm sure we must have seen a lot of Tamil movies than the three we are
Oh yeah,
talking about.
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
But again, these three movies are something that stand out for us, and that's why we are talking about
Hmm.
it today. And
Yeah.
yeah, now really I want to okay, I'll talk about myself. Why what stand out for me is you know when you watch like I'll not consider these movies as Tamil. I'll consider in general that these three movies stand out generally for me. Like if you ask me the best movies I've seen, these
Hmm.
three will be automatically in my list. And something
Okay.
that I what I started in my review is that I watch a movie that people have recommended me. I'll review it and I'll give them one movie from my side that you guys watch.
Okay.
It can be in Hindi, English, anything. And these three
Okay.
movies are something that when I reviewed them, I don't like, I'm not saying a similar movie to them or something like that, but I don't have a counterpart to these movies because these movies are so
Okay.
special. Like 96,
Hmm.
a love story, it totally redefines the genre. It
Okay.
surprises me. It has twists and turns I cannot even expect in a thriller film. Then
Oh.
we come to Game
Okay.
Over, totally a conceptual film. It
Hmm.
turns sides so many times. Like at the end, people say Inception is a movie you'll never understand. You cannot decide what's the ending. But again, Game Over is a kind of a movie that throws you in a loop. And
Yeah.
then, of course, everyone have a different view of the film, different perspective. But according to me, it's that. And then Super Deluxe, I think it's the best film I've ever seen in my life.
Hmm.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
by the when I die, it will be the best film, and the best film
Okay.
India has ever made. Period.
Okay.
So, like the things that really stand out is the way, as War said, the storytelling, the attention to the craft.
Hmm.
All three movies, surprisingly, in the two movies, the actor is Vijay Sethupathi, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's a coincidence. The way he acts, the person he is, the scripts he choose. I've
Hmm.
like he's in some time he'll be the biggest actor in India,
Okay. Hmm.
and yeah, like the craft is something that's very important to me. Even like when I even talk about commercial films, there is something the business aspect is greater than the craft. The hero is greater than
Okay.
the craft, and whenever they
Hmm.
try to be innovative, I like it. It may not work,
Hmm.
but again, even if they attempt, slowly, a Salman Khan film 5 years back is not the same Salman Khan film today. There's more nuance to his
Okay.
films. So similar things goes to a Mahesh Babu film or a Rajnikant film. It's not
Hmm.
just him hitting guys and they are flying off. There's more themes,
Yeah.
there are more depth to the films. It's not equal to
Hmm.
what we should expect and a film should have, but at least the it has started, and that's what the audience
Yeah.
is doing. We'll not watch any crap you put out.
Hmm. But I mean, there are still like crap movies coming out
No,
which
that's
people do
that's
watch, and
that's
like
yeah,
yeah.
that's totally, like, I understand. Student of the year too, of course. Shots fired.
Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Even in South in Indian cinema, there are movies that they are just doing it because
I mean, see, there's always like, there's never always going to be just really good movies. There's always going to be bad movies. Like either maybe
yeah,
it's just
and
like a commercial film, like just because
Yes.
financially to
Yes.
get some
yeah, I
finance or
yeah,
something,
that's,
and that's
of
it.
course it will be, because like, and nothing is perfect. Like, you cannot expect
Yeah.
all the crops to be same every year. There's some things, crops will be really good, some crops really bad. So it's
Yes.
same
Yes.
goes to this. It's art. Yeah, and
Oh. Okay.
these three films are something like, as a aspiring filmmaker, as a person who watches a lot of films, I like that how these films are, making a path to, like, creating a path that other people can follow. That's really really important.
Yeah.
They are in a time that they are the leading innovators. They are leading
Hmm.
the future generation to it. They are doing something totally different from what the mainstream is doing. They are challenging the
Yes. Yes.
norms. Like, it's difficult to
Yeah.
do it now. It may not be difficult for doing it 10 years from now. So I think that's the
Hmm.
thing I respect the most. So I think I talked a lot.
Hmm.
So, like, is there anything particular you guys want to mention? Any difference, particular distinction between these films you have watched and some other films, even Hollywood?
Okay.
Super Deluxe. I like the way that basically, in my opinion, it was just like another. It's similar to a Tarantino film, because Tarantino's
Okay.
Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction was exactly like this, right? Even Super
Yes.
Deluxe was.
Yes.
It was just like, I'm not gonna say it's copied. I'm just gonna say it was inspired by it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was inspired by it, right? And the way it was done, it was actually really good. And I could see that also, like, there were some shots at Tarantino, not shots,
Hmm.
but like there were some references made about Tarantino or Tarantino's movies. Like,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was a reference made of Kill Bill
Yes.
at the beginning of the movie. And then there's like,
Hmm.
and also, I like the Star Wars
Yeah.
references, the Star Wars music. Obviously, it was like an Indian take on the Star Wars music, but
Yeah.
that was amazing. That was amazing. But
Hmm.
mostly, just like I like how uh, it was inspired by a Tarantino film. So
Yeah.
that's what.
Like, it's really important to mention inspired. Some people
Exactly,
just take
exactly.
it as
You can't say
copied.
it copied. You can't say copied, but like inspired, and with all the references
Hmm.
to
I feel
Tarantino
like
movies and all
he
that.
elevated Pulp Fiction by
Hmm.
referencing and getting inspiring by it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's my take on Super Deluxe.
Was the distinction you find, like,
Yeah.
of course, among us you are the one who has seen most movies.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, I think distinction wise, I would say I mean there were so many like films which like Super Deluxe had referenced like in Hollywood. I mean yeah, those that Pulp Fiction and like Kill Bill. These were some of them. But other than that, I think. I mean, I haven't even seen like the other many other Tamil films, but I've heard that it has referenced like many other Tamil films too, and I I think it's like what they did was completely original, completely different, and I mean, even the stories they told and everything, and how they were interconnected and all, it was like it requires multiple watchings, and I haven't been able to like watch it again. It's actually a very long movie, but I think it's like you don't realize how time goes. You by the time the film ends and like everything comes together, that's when you realize, oh, okay, so much was happening and like such a long time has gone, almost like 3 hours. But before that, you don't really realize much. And yes, I think. I mean, yes, yeah, yeah. So that's what I think. What about you?
Yeah, as I said again, the keeping the craft over everything else, the storytelling over. So I think that's the thing that stands out for me. So let's get into the three films we'll be talking about. Before we start that, if you guys are still listening, I hope you guys are still listening. So
Yeah.
of course we would like to do more of these in the future. So of course Malayalam cinema is something which really, it's known for very heavy content films. So guys, please tell us in the comments what three top movies you think the are the best films of Malayalam cinema or Telugu cinema or Kannada cinema. Even Hindi cinema will do it soon. So do tell us in the comments. But remember, these podcasts takes a lot of time, to prepare and to get everything done. So it will be like it will almost take a month or two to get the new podcast out. So do remember that and do tell us in the comments your top three movies of each cinema. So let's
Okay.
get into the movies. So which one we want to talk about first?
Um, I don't know. Pick one.
I think like or not me, but both of you are into games, and I think
Okay.
Game
Yes,
Over
yes.
is the
Game over.
first movie we should talk about. Also because Tapsi Pannu is my favorite actress ever.
Hmm.
Like she's
Really?
the like I consider her the best actress in my lifetime.
All right
Okay.
So
then. You,
I you can consider I'm biased towards her. Like I'll see whatever she's in. So, but
you're
the movie is really
biased.
good.
Okay.
So you guys can
No,
start
no, 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 no. You're
on
biased.
Game Over. Yeah, I am. I am. I'll not hide. I am. Okay.
Yeah.
So game over. Okay, so basically, firstly, I like the concept of game over.
Hmm.
Um,
I think I would say start with your initial thoughts, and then each of one will go in initial thoughts, and then we'll go in the deeper whatever movie
okay.
themes and all that you want to go into.
Again, initial thought like at first I didn't really know what it was going to be about. Um, I don't know why, but the movie like it it I could connect with it when she actually felt all this anxiety and all that. That is, I don't know why, but this is one movie that actually, whenever she was feeling something, like all that
Hmm.
scared she was feeling, at fear, I don't know why, but
Hmm.
I felt it too. So that is, and this is honestly one movie that has, before, I mean, movies have never made me feel like that, but like
Hmm.
this scared feeling. Okay, I mean, I'm not talking about like the sudden horror scares I'm talking about, but something
Yes,
seeing
yes.
like this triggering you. So this is one movie that actually did that for me, and that's why I was like really okay, this is something I've never experienced this before. So then after this came the concept of, this game, this like all of a sudden this whole game thing in the movie. So I like that concept, how she actually, since considering she is a game designer,
Hmm.
she works for like she that's her job. She is
Yeah.
creating games and all that. So considering that, it made sense. So
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
like the concept. I like the concept.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. Yeah, I think even I would say, and I mean, there were like some small details that I really like how they actually, I mean, since she's a game designer, so instead of like just showing that she's doing some like random things on computer and like doing
Yeah,
other things, they
yeah.
actually like
Yeah, they showed
showed like I
the
think
software
yeah
or something.
Unity and yeah and like softwares and all that and like some of the work and that she was doing and all that and
The
one thing that I like kind of was what should I say? I wouldn't say disappointed is not the word, but I mean, I understand why they did it. Like,
It could have been
they
better.
showed,
It could have been
yeah, it
better.
could have been better. Like, they showed her playing this, what's that game? Yeah, Pac-Man. So, like, I understand that, like, most people know Pac-Man, and that's why I think they did that. And, like, how even the second half of the film is, like, inspired by Pac-Man only. Like, there are three villains, and only
Yeah.
one like Pac-Man, and like that. But I think like if they would have researched it a bit, they could have found a better game. But it's still not that big of an issue. I mean, ultimately, the whole that second half of the film where like she's like fighting against them, that was it felt a lot like a video game to me, and yeah, that it was like very fun to watch and very thrilling also.
If you
Yes.
think about it, now that you bring that up, I'm just thinking about it right now.
Hmm.
That's like, I don't know if this is what the director was going for, but
Yeah.
since you brought Pac-Man up, don't you think the movie was exactly like Pac-Man? She was Pac-Man, the other three were the ghosts. They were
No,
coming
Yes.
after
yeah,
her, but she was trying
that
to
was the
escape.
point. Yeah, that was the point. That was the metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay then. Big brain time.
That was a metaphor. And even in the game Pac-Man, there are four enemies. But
Four
in the film,
ghosts.
they removed one for
Why
the
did they remove the
plot
fourth ghost?
because they wanted to show three, right? Three lives, three.
Okay,
So
okay.
Yeah.
I don't
everything
know.
was
It
three,
just hit me
three,
now. It
three
just
tattoos, three times that girl survived from cancer. Everything was
Okay.
three,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
although one thing about the movie is again I get it. I get that it's a psychological movie, but
Yes.
it's just that the ending is something that I can't understand.
you
Okay.
can't or you
Like
can.
I can't.
Okay,
I cannot. Like
that's
what
totally
happens
fine, bro.
then? Like again, psychological. Like is it a
Okay.
true thing that
You
happened?
know
Is it
what?
like
You know
in
what?
her head?
So guys, just before we say anything else, I just want to tell you that none of us have talked about the movies before this. I purposely wanted
Okay.
so we find new stuff talking to each other, and it should be very, uh,
Hmm.
what do you say,
New.
authentic. So I didn't want it to, feel like we already talked about it and then we are doing it again for the podcast. So yeah, continue. So I am happy that you didn't understand that and you stated it, and it's totally fine. But I would not say I want to manipulate what you think about the film, but I'll tell you some things what I think and I saw in the film, and
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
you connect with it or not. That's totally fine. But okay, let's watch. What you want to say? Anything else?
No, no, you can say, yeah.
Yeah, so before I don't know if I remember, I sent you a video to watch. It was an interview by Bhardwaj Rangan and the
Hmm.
producer and the director of Game Over. So do watch that
No,
video. Like
okay,
there's a lot of stuff.
okay,
There's a lot of
okay,
stuff. So
okay.
some of stuff I'll talk about. So the why he chose Pac-Man. So he asked him why you didn't take a game like Indiana Jones or something like that. And he said, Pac-Man is so simple. It's a 2D game. You
Hmm.
can see the whole game at once
Hmm.
and the mazes and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's he wanted that feel, to know you show
Okay.
the audience everything that's happening. You can see where the enemy is coming from. I think
Yeah.
that's the reason he chose Pac-Man. And it's simple to understand. It's very, famous and people understand the game easily. You don't have to explain what's happening, what to do, and.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
reasoning they
Fine.
gave for why she was playing it because she was researching it for something. I think she wanted to beat the high scores
Oh,
and
She
check
wanted to
something.
beat the high score, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
legit.
And my other thing is that the ending you said even I when my sister saw the
Like I wish there was more to the ending.
yeah, I'll come to that.
Like a full stop. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like it was more of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'll come to that. So told my sister to watch it, and she watched, and she said she didn't like the ending. Like she said,
Okay.
Okay.
they didn't say anything about who the serial killers were. They didn't show anything. They just the movie just
Yes,
ended.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now comes the tricky big brain time,
Big brain time.
and so did the serial killers really existed? These are the
I
questions
feel
I want to ask you. Before, okay, I'll just ask all the questions. Okay.
No,
did
ask one at a time. One at a time.
yeah, okay. Did the serial
Okay.
killers really existed, or was
See,
it all in her brain because her
consider.
name is Sapna?
Okay.
She's
Okay,
building a
okay,
Uh,
game.
shit.
She's
Okay,
building a game.
okay,
She's
because her
building a
name is
game with
Sapna.
three
You,
enemies. We get 3 lives. Okay, she's getting
hmm.
good sleep. She said in the movie she's getting good sleep. Okay, uh,
Okay.
and she's building a game. Something she's really having some big ideas. She said to the doctor. What if it's
Hmm.
all in a dream? What if at the end, when the
Yeah.
firecrackers are bursting, it's her, all the 3 killers are her inner demons. And
Yeah, it
because
could
she's a
be.
game designer, she's thinking it all as a,
as a game.
yeah.
Yeah, and
AFK,
it's
you
like
guys
a
continue.
way in which, yeah, a way I think.
I don't think that is supposed to be that loud, but
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
was
don't
saying.
know about it being. I mean, it is highly possible. I'd say
Hmm.
it makes sense. It's just that there could have been more explanation to it. That's all I'm saying. There could be more explanation to it
Hmm.
because she is also nyctophobiac, right? Like she has like this
Yeah.
fear of
Anniversary
fear of the
reaction.
dark and all that. I'm sorry.
Anniversary
Hmm.
reaction.
Yeah, she has like all that, like fear of the dark, and she has PTSD also. So all that coming
True.
together, that would create a nightmare for her. Like, I don't think her name has anything to do with it. Sapna, I just find it
No,
like to be a
it's a you
coincidence.
Yeah.
can say a
It's a
coincidence.
coincidence. Coincidence.
Maybe or
Yeah.
maybe not.
No, it is. No, maybe not.
Because the director was like very like he was not saying much. Like he was like, see, whatever you think the movie, what do you think it is the movie? Like I'll not give you
Hmm.
Okay.
explanation and give you a direction what it really means and all that stuff. It's
Makes
just in
sense.
the
Okay.
and even people asked why there was no back, why the killers were killing the girls, and why all this why and
No, at the end
Hmm.
of okay, yeah, keep going.
yeah, so one of the answer is that it doesn't matter who they are, because
Hmm.
the point of view of the film is from Sapna's perspective, right? It doesn't she'll
Yes.
Yes.
never know
Yes.
who the killers were if they were real,
I know.
because
Yeah.
they're dead. They'll not now tell. It's not CID episode that Daya will slap them and they'll start talking. Oh, sorry, we did this
Yeah.
and
कुछ
that.
तो गड़बड़ है.
Yeah. So first of all, it doesn't matter who they are, and second of all,
I know.
if it matters to you who they are, you can watch the
Hmm.
film and you can make out your own theory about them. Their origin story. If you watch the movie
Yeah.
carefully, there are hints given of why they are killing these women. Okay, who are
What are
how
why
they are
are they
choosing
killing
it.
the women?
So, okay, if you wanted, I'll tell you. If you
Go for it.
pay attention, all the women they are
Hmm.
killing, they are independent women. They are women
Okay.
who are, you can say, modern. They are women who have got tattooed from that place. So maybe there can be a person who's working at that place, and it's a
Hmm.
metaphor that a woman who has broken the chains and come out of the imprisonment that the society has put them in, and they are working.
Hmm.
These are the
Yeah.
women
I feel
targeted by
like
the.
that is. I feel like that. Wait, is this your take on it, or is this like the
This is
director's
what
take
I
on it?
understood when I connected the clues, because they
Hmm.
had the
Okay.
pictures of the women in that tattoo parlor.
Yes. Yes.
All the
Yeah.
women were independent women who were working on
Yes.
themselves.
Hmm. Yeah, it
It's
could be.
it's
I mean,
again it's again
that
about
seemed like a big
I
possibility. Yeah.
find it, in my opinion, I don't think it's. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't think it's that. I just find it like, okay, maybe. I do. I will say that, like, what you said about the inner demons, that is a possibility. Like,
Yes.
she, at the end of the day, she still kept fighting even though in the dark. So, so there was that. She kept fighting in the dark. She got rid of. I wouldn't say got rid of that, but she just kept fighting through. She fought through everything, no matter the odds. Basically it was a survival thing,
Yeah.
right? And you have to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just feel like that was something that she was fighting, her inner demon. She got like 3 chances, and again, not many people get those chances like that to restart everything, to restart life just like that. So that's what I got from it. Again, it's the whole point of, I find it as like this: you can either tell how the story goes, or you could just, they could have just made the story like, okay, fine, so and so happens, that's it. Because there are some people, there are some people like who just want to make up their own story. Like, okay, fine, you don't know how this ends, you can make out several conclusions from your take, your opinion, like how Nona Prince said,
Nice, nice. I
female,
like
independent female. Yeah. But there are some people who just want a story, they just want a story, to
Definitive
hear
end.
the story. They don't want, yeah, they don't want to tell the story, they want to just hear the story. Like, okay, so and so happens, that's it, what next, like that. So I think you can go have two takes on it, that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's why the movie got a mixed review, because some people didn't like it at all, some people loved it, and like, and I think that's the that's the reason the movie is so great, because it is an open movie. The last page is not written, and you have to write it whatever you like. And
Yeah.
the reason I'm so glad to watch this movie and that the movie was made, that we three are sitting and talking about it for half an hour. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of the film, that there is so much
Yeah.
content there, so the concept is there, there's mal.
Mal, it
There's,
seems. Okay.
Yeah.
you know there's so much to
Hmm.
talk about, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, like you all said that there are many interpretations. So, yeah, I mean, I like that fact that like they made it in such a way, it was because it was open-ended, it had like many different, you could take many different interpretations of it. So, like what you were saying about, the killers being her inner demons, and like basically she was like, even if it all was like a dream or something, so it could, like, it all could have happened in a mind. So like that is a realistic take. Then they also, the if you want to go for the more like fantasy sort of take, so for that they told the story of how that girl's like ash was mixed in a tattoo, and that
Yeah,
thing, and like maybe like
supernatural.
that girl's spirit was like giving her the three lives or something to fight back and something like that. Like that's more of a fantasy thing, more like what you see in many other horror films also. So there's one like interpretation like that. Then there could be like another form of interpretation could be that the three killers, they actually like work somewhere in the tattoo parlor only. It could be something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually made a tweet. You can see it on the screen if I was not lazy enough to edit. I wrote that for me this movie was a women centric, not women centric, but a movie about women empowerment. Yeah,
Okay.
there
Yeah.
are dialogues. There are dialogues like that she was blamed for what happened to her, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
her videos were viral, and people are watching and commenting about it. Her parents were blaming
Okay.
her,
Hmm.
why you went there. She was regretting that, why did I go. It's
Yeah.
talking about
Hmm.
that modern women, and what's happening around about rape and everything, that women are being blamed that for the rape. Things like that, they were slightly put into the narrative. And she being scared, it should be the other way around. The guy who did this should feel this way, but we live in a society where the victim has to live in fear, have to live in trauma, because the society doesn't support her. Like, I don't want to break anything, but the
Hmm.
director and the producer also, they hinted at that, so I think I'm right.
Okay. Okay. Hey.
Like, again, no, again,
Hmm.
the movie, they don't, like, if you don't see it at it, if you don't see this movie as that, it's okay. There's no
Hmm.
Yeah.
problem in that. But this is
Yeah.
something I got to know. her defeating her inner demons with these three people. The people, they were masked, they were never unmasked. That's also something that's important to notice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
like I love the film. I to be honest, I was like, okay, I saw the trailer, it was a little horrifying, and I was like, okay, when I watched this film, I closed the light, I closed my door, and I increased my volume of the Bluetooth speaker full on, okay, in the mode. Within 15 minutes, I was so scared. I turned on the light, I opened the door, I opened the windows, everything, made it bright as possible, increased the laptop brightness to full. I was so
Yeah.
scared until I saw the serial killers in the last part.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared because when you don't know something, it's more scary.
Yeah.
It's more scary,
Yeah,
yes.
and even they didn't show us what really happened to her. We are assuming, and we are assuming the
Yes. Yes.
worst things possible.
I know. Yes.
And when at the moment the serial killers show up, I was like, okay, now I know what he looks like, what he can do. Okay, now I'm okay. But before that, I was
Yeah.
so scared. I was, oh my god, I couldn't even describe. Anything else you guys want to add about the performance, direction, everything, writing?
I like the again. I can't really, because again I'm not really an experienced person on the part, but it was good. That's all I can say. It was actually pretty good. I still
Josh,
my whole
as a
yes.
musician, how was the sound design in the music? Because that's very
Uh,
important in this film.
it was good. It was good. Like even the whole scary scenes and everything, right? The way it was done, basically like jump scares and all. There were no jump scares, or at least I don't think I saw any. But the way it was done, the eerie music all of a sudden and everything like that, it was done really well, like very well.
Yeah, so I was watching that interview, and of course, the writing is great, the direction is great, but something that really, stands out is the producer. And I don't think
Okay.
I'll ever say this for any other film, but the producer told the director to add more scenes to make the story more coherent. Can you
Okay.
imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a producer telling someone to increase the length of the film?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've ever seen this collaboration between a producer and actor so creatively. Not the business
Okay.
side, but so creatively.
Yeah.
And both of you guys, I know, I'm sure you know what happened to Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can
Everybody knows.
you can understand how much that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
That the
Yeah.
producer is telling the director add more stuff, make it more coherent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Anything else you
any.
guys want to add?
Not much. Not
Hmm.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've like.
It's still for me like there are some again like the same thing with your own interpretation of the movie.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
there are some cases where I'm open to that, and there are some cases where I want an ending. Like I want to know what happens. Like this is
Yeah.
one of those cases. Like I want to know what happens. Like that. That's it.
Yeah.
That that's what we have brought up, like we have seen
Yeah,
movies that ends definitely, like
that
there's
ends
nothing, like
exactly.
the
Hmm.
character's life ends when the movie ends. We are
Yeah.
so
So
used
Yes.
to
you don't
watching the
really.
movies like do like that. Even our education system, we are just
Stop.
told
Let's not.
this is
Shots,
what
shots fired at the government.
this
What is
is
he? You're
Yeah.
banned from YouTube, demonetized.
this is what happens, and we just learn that, write it, and done. We are done with studies. We
Hmm.
have lost the mind to apply the knowledge, and that's the same thing. We just
Yes.
sit back, relax in the theater, watch the film, and go home. Done.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have grown
Yeah.
up with, and when movies like these come out, it's really refreshing.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
let's move on to the next film.
Yeah.
So which one you want to talk
Yes.
about, 96 or Super Deluxe?
96 was hasn't watched it, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So let's go
what's
Super Deluxe.
what do you want to talk about? Wars? Like,
He
do you
can't
wanna
talk
stay?
about.
About
You wanna stay for 96, or you would like to opt out
no,
for
I
it?
think yeah, I mean I would like to watch the movie first. So I think I mean we let's like talk about Super Deluxe right now, and then you guys can like continue talking about 96 and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, no problem. So, Super Deluxe. Let's talk about it. So, let's initial
Okay.
thoughts first.
Inspiration Tarantino.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, Watts and me saw the movie together in the theater. So, we were
Okay.
quite like, we also got free popcorn that day.
Yeah.
Why? Why? I want
I
free
think
popcorn.
Watts got a coupon or something, and we ran in the interval to get the free popcorn.
Oh,
Yeah. I
lucky.
thought that yeah, I didn't think that the coupon would work, but it worked. Like they accepted it, and we got free popcorn.
Hey man, it's free.
Yeah,
Anything free
and
is mine.
Anything
yeah,
free is acceptable.
yes. So yeah, about Super Deluxe, I think I mean it is such a detailed film, like such a detailed film with like so many layers that I don't even know. Like we could have done an entire podcast just on that film only, talking about like every single small detail and everything.
Actually, my
But
initial plan was that,
yeah,
but then I thought let's talk
Mm-hmm.
okay.
about three movies because all three of them
I
great.
mean, so many things. Like what not did they like didn't add or like didn't talk about in that film? Like they talked about I don't know aliens and God and like creation and everything and whatnot. So yeah, I mean. I think I don't. Yeah, I agree with you, Nona Prince, on that. That I don't think any other movie has been ever like this in India, and I don't think they'll be even able to make something like this, at least in near future or something. So yeah,
I hope they do, but the
yes, yes.
practicality is
Yeah.
that.
Hmm. I mean, it's a so like I mean over here I was like talking to some of my friends here, like some of the new people that I've met here. I think now your audience might come to know that I'm not
No,
in
it was
India.
in the
So
previous. It was in the
Yeah, yeah,
previous
yeah. I
deleted
just gonna
one.
say that.
oh okay.
So yeah,
So anyways,
identity
yeah.
is still hidden.
So yeah, I made some new friends there, and I was talking about movies and all that with them. So I like they asked me about Indian films and also like I was thinking. I mean, they had a somewhat they knew that they had seen. I think like they knew about Bahubali because it became like very popular. They hadn't seen it, but they knew about Bahubali, and I think one of them had seen that the you know the famous scene of Bahubali, the
Yeah.
meme one.
Are you talking about the foreigners?
Yeah,
Which
Okay,
one?
okay, okay.
yeah. So
Your
I mean that
classmates.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
it
okay,
had
okay.
become popular on Reddit now, so that's why
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it.
yeah, yeah.
The the infamous scene of Bahubali.
What's the famous
So
scene of Babali?
the
Did you
one
did
where
you see
they
the second
Bahubali
one,
2.
Josh?
Oh no! Crap.
Okay, okay. No, I'm not. I won't spoil it. I mean,
Uh,
though whoever is like watching this podcast will know which scene I'm talking
You
about,
know
and even
the
like
corridor
Nona
crew
Prince got
reacted
it.
to it.
Yeah, I saw. It was it was funny, and I mean, like I realized that yes, like physical, like the physics aspect was still not that bad, but it was just so absurd that like it looks funny. But other than that, yeah. Yeah, so like they had seen that scene and they were like wondering that what type of movie it is. Like they were asking me that is it really something like Lord of the Rings and all that. So I said no. I mean you will have to watch it with an open mind because it's like completely different culture, different sensibilities and everything. So I mean I told them to watch Bahubali, but now I'm thinking like I should tell them about Super Deluxe because it is like a very global film. I don't think like even though it is like set in India and has like very Indian characters and everything, but I think even like they would understand it clearly, like very well, and they would understand what the film is like trying to talk about. So yeah,
Yeah, but I think in Super Deluxe, the there are some things, culturally different than others, so it will be
Yes, yes,
difficult
of
Like
course,
for.
what?
definitely. I mean, I don't think they would get the whole what like the transgender part. I don't think they would really get
Yeah,
that.
the
But
family, how what the man is so important, and
yeah,
The
yeah,
society,
those things.
society
yeah,
norms, social norms.
Hmm. Yeah, but I still think like it is. I mean, India like among Indian films, like among in the whole like global film, what film community and all. I think the Super Deluxe should be like promoted more because it's a very well made film. Yeah, because of
yeah,
that
surely,
only.
surely. I think it should be the official entry for Oscar.
I doubt, but yeah, it should be. Yeah.
I'm sure there are better films, not better, but there are good films out there I haven't seen. I should not
But yeah,
make
if
claims like this.
no, but I think it definitely deserves a nomination or win of some sort. Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah.
say something.
Hello.
Yeah, say something about the
Oh,
movie.
okay. Um, Again, I was really I really liked the whole inspiration behind Tarantino, and even though like, and I'm not gonna keep like just because of Tarantino, no, but the director actually had really good. He made it in a really good way, like the story wise,
Hmm.
everything. It kept me hooked.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the stories kept me hooked, but at least majority of them kept me hooked. Like oh wait, no, I can't give out any spoilers, but
Nah, I
yeah.
think I think
So
you can talk about the spoilers. I'm sure most people watching, listening to this have seen the movie.
okay, so then the first story with the murder scene, like they were trying to cover up everything, right? So that was this. Then after is even the transgender story, the teenage boy story. So they were all like really good, and like I like how everything connected again, like, and also the whole references to other movies, especially to Tarantino's movie. Like in the beginning only, they were like they made a reference to Kill Bill.
Yeah.
uh
Yes.
so yeah, so like those references, and plus the soundtrack. Oh, also the soundtrack of that movie was amazing, like really
Hmm.
amazing.
Yes. Yes. It was.
And I like the whole Star Wars soundtrack also that they made for the movie. So
That was
yeah,
really
the
fun.
that was really fun. But the soundtrack for the movie was top notch, really, really well done. So yeah,
And
So
what about you, Good Sakandar?
yeah,
No,
so
Nona
I think
Prince.
I have made it clear how in love I am with this film.
yeah, pretty
Yeah. Did
clear.
you make a review on it?
Yeah,
I
I made a
haven't seen.
3 4 minutes review without spoilers,
Oh, okay.
Guys, check it
and
out.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I am sure most people have checked it out already who are
Yeah.
listening to this. Again,
Hmm.
I haven't seen the first movie of this director,
Sorry.
and
Okay.
I haven't seen the first movie by this director, and that movie is also really
Oh, yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
saw
Varun
that
has seen it.
also.
Varun has seen it.
Yeah, so I've seen 5 Tamil films now. Okay, good. Nice that you
Yeah,
have given me
increasing
a
your
count.
count. Okay, nice. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, and there was a poster of that film in this film.
Yes, yes, yes. There are some other references also actually, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Hmm.
many things we'll not get because of the Tamil cinema. Like Tamil
Hmm.
cinema goer will understand many things which we didn't. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
culturally different. Yeah, like there's a lot of thing going in this film. Like you have to see it several times to understand many things, and
Hmm.
still you'll
Yeah.
miss out something. And I'll
Yes,
advise
yes.
you, if you want, I can send you some links to some videos, and you know like, don't watch the videos but go watch the comment section. Oh my god, the theories, the amount of things people have noticed which
Oh
I
yeah,
totally
dude.
missed.
People are really.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I
I
missed
know,
so
I
many
know.
things, and people were just, the theories people had about so many things were amazing. I'll share the video
I
with you
think
guys.
I read on Reddit also. So like even on Reddit it was similar that people were sharing their theories and all that. So many of them were like mind blowing. Like yeah, like so many things are right in front of you and you didn't even notice. It's like that. So yeah.
That's true. And there's one statement made by Bharadwaj Rangan, one of the best critics, national award-winning
I
critic
know,
in
I
India.
know. Yeah, the
So
Ask VR
yeah,
one, right? Yeah.
he said something in a review that this film is something which you can look at it with a microscope, at a
Hmm.
microscopic level as well as a macroscopic level. And I think that
Yeah, true, true.
statement defines this movie perfectly.
True, yes, yes.
There is still some aspect of this movie that I still didn't understand. Like, I know they talk about life and all that, but like the alien
Hmm.
part, like it just, that is something like realistically. I'm thinking about this point. Okay, like realistically, like how and what is that? Like, why is that there? That's my only thing.
Yeah.
What's
Like
your
I see
answer
how
that?
it is. Like I see how it is essential to the movie and all that. It has a huge plot in it, but like again, why and how and what? There's like just questions.
What's your answer that?
Hmm. No, you have any reply? I mean, I would like to hear that.
Nicely deflected towards me.
I don't think he can explain that. That's my point. Like you can't explain that.
So,
I mean, yes,
challenge
I
accepted.
think just like how we were talking about Game Over, how it had so many not so many, but like it had different interpretation. This film is like on another level in terms of interpretation and whatnot. You can just look at it from the point of view of I think like three stories going on together, but on like there's so much happening. There's they have done this entire world building sort of thing in just those 3 hours that like if you look at the details you'll understand that. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so what were you saying, Kursikandar?
So, can
Yeah,
you
he
hear me?
challenged. Yes.
Okay. So, I was saying that,
Hmm.
you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, dude, talk.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Because like the Varun's voice was breaking. Okay. So, I was gonna say
Oh, okay,
that,
okay.
when they're talking about alien, when they're talking about life,
Yeah.
that is something bigger than everything, the universe. you know when a
Hmm.
alien is among us and he's talking about the life, and
Hmm.
what she has seen and
Hmm.
what she's telling him, the knowledge she comes with,
Hmm.
and what we are doing such petty things around us, like
I know,
a,
yeah.
a man has turned into a woman, and the society, we are objecting her. A woman who had sex out of marriage, we are judging her.
Hmm.
Such small petty
Yeah, yeah.
issues we are offended with, and then we talk about life and the universe, which is so bigger that these things are nothing in front of it.
Hmm.
And on
Yeah,
the other
yes, yes,
side,
I know.
there are so many social issues in front of us, you
I
know
feel like I was just
Yeah.
having this conversation with another friend yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is the thing the movie does to you, like, if you see, all the stories are connected to sex in some way or the other.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
and
Uh,
like the leading force is the reason of sex. The guy is
Okay.
finding out that the one guy's mother had done a porn video, and
Yeah.
the first story where the guy gets the guy is dead.
Hmm.
She was having sex with him.
Yeah.
Although
Okay.
one thing about the movie I'll say is like I genuinely thought like the guy who turned up dead would be like from the guys who were supposed to poison
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah. Even I was
Yeah, he
thinking
is
that
that
they
only.
poisoned
Yeah,
him.
that's what like I was actually waiting for that. I'm like, what? When it didn't happen, I'm like, oh, okay. So that's not, because that's, I think that's what he was trying to do, like just to put us off.
Yeah, we
Uh,
thought we are connecting the dots, but he
yeah.
totally played
Yeah,
us.
I know.
And then you realize
Yes.
you would suck as a detective.
Yeah, right.
Big brain time.
Yeah.
Even the ending when it all connects when you see the plane.
I know.
Even the time, the story with Vijay Sethupathiy's character. It's happening. It's happening before
Yeah,
everything else.
I like how the whole timing is involved in this.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yes, yes.
And we have to talk about the performances in this movie. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
Vijay
like
The
this
Sethupathi
guy's
acting.
has
performance.
nailed. He has nailed the character. He
Yeah.
was Shilpa.
Yes, yes.
Honestly,
Yeah,
if I'm
that
being
was.
more honest, like I like this one's acting the best. Um, Mugil. I don't know his real name. The the main husband, the guy
Mu-
who's trying to,
Mugilan.
yeah, the actor who's trying to be the actor.
His name is Fahad Fasil. Yeah, okay. Continue.
Okay, yeah. I
Okay.
don't know why, but I liked his acting. I liked his humor in his character. I liked
Yeah,
his
yeah.
humor. I liked his acting and
Did
everything.
you notice how he was angry and suddenly he would rant about government,
Exactly. Yeah.
system and
That's what.
everything?
That's what.
Yes, yes.
And when he acts
Hmm.
like as he's drunk to take out
Yeah.
everything, and then she says, "Can you drive now? You feel drunk."
Yeah.
That sequence was so.
I
I was
just
so
loved
scared
the
when.
humor he had. The humor his character had is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Even the
Yeah, yeah.
the scene where the police inspector wants to have sex with her. It's like
Yes.
so the way it shot, the way it performed. Oh my god,
Yes, yes.
it was giving me chills. I was so worried, and when the TV comes, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, thank God.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Another thing that it just reminded me of that, like how in I think the first 1 hour or something, like the film was so humorous, and I thought that the tone will be like this, and then suddenly everything became like so dark, like with the when the that police officer comes and he like rapes I think Shilpa, and then all that happens, and then towards the end also like when he's going to like he have sex with her and that. So like it suddenly became so dark, but then there was still humor in between all that, and then finally like the ending was like very positive and very good, and that yeah.
But don't you think the way the film progresses, it's like life? When we are
Yeah,
small,
yeah, like yes,
we
yes.
are like under 18 and under 15. We are innocent, and then
Innocent, yeah.
suddenly the
We
life
don't know about
hits.
the world.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
go in life and it hits you and it's dark, but you still try to find humor in it,
Yes,
and
yes.
the circle of life continues.
Hmm.
That's a
I
good
think I'm
movie.
going too much into it.
It's being too
Finding too much
philosophical.
meaning.
Too much meaning.
Even the the couple, they were like at the brink of a divorce. Like when he
Hmm.
finds out that she had sex with him and he died, like he was a problem,
Yeah.
and that problem was causing a divorce and disconnect between them. But by the end of the movie, that problem is the reason,
Hmm.
you know they get back
They
together.
got together.
And
Yeah.
did you notice the all three stories have an ice cream vendor, which the name is Super Deluxe.
Oh,
Ah.
that's something I did not
Haha,
notice.
yeah. I think it was like they meant that like life is like an ice cream or something like that. I
Life is
think
like a
like
box of chocolates.
yeah. I mean like you should enjoy life, and I think that's what they wanted to say. So yeah.
See, there's so much to talk about this movie. It's like it will take
I
ages, and
know.
we'll be sitting here and talking about it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this film, man. Like really, the kid was amazing.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
kid. Oh, okay. Raskuti.
Ah, that's good. Yeah.
Do you know? Do you remember? There's a scene that he fights with his classmate. There's a
Yeah.
Yes,
action.
yes,
You can
yeah.
call it an action scene. He directed that. He
Wait, what?
himself directed
No,
that
no.
scene.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
new. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's why it feels so authentic. That's how people
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
That's
like
how
children
children fight.
fighting, yeah. Mhm.
Because he directed it. Like
Yes.
he asked the director, "Can I direct it?" And he's like, "Okay." And he directed the whole
Director is
scene.
like, yeah, sure.
He told how the cinematographer
Oh,
how to shoot it, how which angles to take,
okay.
and he directed the other kids what to do. And when he
Hmm.
was down out of the frame, he said, "Continue, continue." Like literally, he was doing
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Wow, man.
Nice.
I know, right?
Hmm. Yeah. That's cool.
I,
Yeah.
I want a behind the scene 10-hour feature about the
Yeah,
film.
I was searching for like behind the scenes stuff, but I couldn't find much. I mean, this like for films like this, I mean, they should post more content like online.
Yeah,
It would be really helpful for like everyone, like not only the audience and all that, but also for like those who are into films and like interested in making films and all that. Because yeah, it's a very good film. That's why.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
next movie?
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add to this?
So far nothing. I think we're done.
Yeah. Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys will like talk about 96 now?
96, and if you want to stay, it's okay. But if you want
No, I
to
think I'll go
save
like
it and
uh
watch the movie and get the experience of watching it, go for it.
yeah. I mean, I will listen to I'll watch the movie and then by the time you upload this podcast, then I'll listen to what you guys said. Yeah.
Hopefully, everything goes well and I don't lose any recordings or, you know.
And yeah.
Yeah, thank God
Yeah.
everything is recording. Okay. So, thank you, Varun,
So
for joining
yeah.
us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
Thank
And
you for
I hope
inviting.
you join
Yeah.
us in future podcasts
Yeah.
like this from very far,
Yes,
far
yes.
away, from a distant land where
Yeah.
idiot is the president. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'll cut that out. I'll cut that out.
Yeah,
I
it's
know. Everyone will know what I'm talking about. It's so obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So it was nice talking with both of you. And bye. Have a good night.
Yeah.
see you guys.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you. Bye. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining.
Bye bye.
Really
Yes,
appreciate it.
yes.
You are my best friend.
Yeah.
I thought I was your best friend, but okay.
No, both of you are my best friend.
No, no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no,
one
no,
from
no,
India,
no,
one
no,
from
no,
foreign,
no.
right?
Arey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good save, good save, good save.
Yeah. चलो ठीक है. Bye.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
bye. See ya. Okay, Josh. Let's talk about 96. And I know this movie is closer to you than me. I have been single all my life. So I don't understand love. I have no
Would you
experience.
like
And
to?
uh, let's not go there.
That's the real question. Would you like to?
I don't want to cry right now, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about the film.
Okay.
Again, guys, I've watched the film, reviewed it. You can check it out on the cards above and in the description. Continue. Let's start.
So 96.
Your
Not
initial
sure
thoughts.
what I was. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but uh 96. I first thought it would be like a normal like rom-com, some um some like just a normal romantic movie, like drama, and the guy gets the girl in the end of the, or both of them get each other like at the end of the movie and stuff like that. But apparently it wasn't like that. It was like it was different. It just makes you realize, okay, life is not always like that. Life is not always like,
Student of the year.
I haven't seen Student of the Year.
Okay, that's really good.
No, I've seen the first movie. I've never seen the second one.
I'm talking about the first. Second one, no. The trailer was just so disappointing.
I don't know. I wouldn't know, man. I should. But yeah. So that's my first thing about the movie. It had a really good story. Like, one thing about the movie I liked is the soundtrack, dude. The soundtrack is just,
Yeah, really, it was amazing.
that was amazing. Her voice was amazing. The singer, whoever was singing, the soundtrack was just beautiful. I really like that. Um, as far as the story, it's a good story. It's a really good story. That's also like one of the reason why like I can relate to it more.
Yeah.
Like
It's authentic.
it's authentic. Yeah.
It's
The
it
thing
does
is,
it doesn't
like,
feel
what
like made up.
happens?
I can believe it happened in real life.
Exactly. And like again, I can relate to it more because like stuff, and it's just that like that's one of my fears. That's why I can relate to it. Like that's one of my personal fears. Like, what if this feeling never goes? What if you're always stuck like that? So like how he was. So even at the end, when you assume that okay, he's at the end, like she tells him, right, like okay, you need to fall in love, you need to get married and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I also assume that okay, maybe that's his time, that's his turning point, that's when he's going to change. But even at the end also, he takes her clothes that he was hanging like
Yeah.
for dry, and he puts it in the box. So what does that mean? Does that mean he's going to move on? Does it mean he's going to still be like that? Because me personally, I feel like okay, he's still going to be like that, but it's something like that's a fear that I personally have. That's why I could connect to it more. That's why like I liked how it was done. How they were, even after all these years, even though she's married and she has a child, even after all these years, she still has those feelings, that love, that careness for the person, both of them. So yeah, that's basically it. It's not like a normal rom-com. It's a romantic drama. It's just like two people who were in love, who are still in love, for that matter, have just been away from each other for so long, so many years, that one time that they are actually together, they can't really do anything about it, but just reminisce about, or just think about all the good memories they had of being together. That's it. They can't do anything about it whatsoever, even if they wanted to.
It's like a tragic love story.
It's like a tragic love story, but like with a weirdly happy ending. Not happy, but satisfying, I'd say.
Really?
No, it's not a satisfying ending.
I was devastated at the end. And it's more tragic because like Romeo and Juliet, they die. The pain is over.
Yeah.
But these guys
For
have to
this guy,
live with
it's
it.
like, exactly. I genuinely thought like she was actually going to leave her husband. I don't know why I thought that.
No, that's we have been used to it, right? Throughout our
Yeah,
lives.
that's what.
That's what's
So
happened
that
in
is one thing.
love, right? You leave everything and no consequences
Exactly,
to your actions.
exactly. But like that didn't happen, and like I was like, oh, okay. So that's also one thing that disappointed me was uh, like what next? Like, is the same thing as game over only? Like, what next? What is happening now? It felt like a cliffhanger all over. Like I don't know if it's a thing about having closure or something, but
Yeah.
it just felt like what now? Like, is he gonna still keep being like that? Is he gonna keep just like that, not gonna do anything, not gonna find love with someone else, or what? So because she's already there with her family, she has a family, he doesn't have anybody. So that's the thing, that was kind of sad, like, or at least I found it sad, like what happens next. That's the thing.
But he was happy, right?
He was happy, but he was happy for that moment.
Like until the reunion, he was enjoying his life as a photographer.
Was he really happy though, or he was just being, see, it's like,
It seemed like
was he actually really happy if you think about it?
no one knows that.
No one knows that exactly. So
We
there's a
don't know he'll
difference.
not be
Like
happy. We don't even know that also.
we know he wasn't happy. It showed in the movie. It showed he wasn't happy. He kept searching for her. He did all those things. Even when during the reunion he was having anxiety attacks. It showed he wasn't really happy.
You know, he's a photographer.
Real life.
No, in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously
So, you know what a photograph is, right?
a picture.
Yeah. A moment,
Yeah, it's a moment. Yeah,
a
he
moment.
said that right in the moment in the movie.
What?
That it's like once you're capturing a picture, it's a moment you like a photographer has the power to capture. He captures moments. He captures that time.
Yeah. And like he likes to be in the memory, old memories, right?
Mm.
He likes that. And
Yeah.
no wonder he's still in love with the girl he fell in love with in the childhood, and he cannot move on because he loves to be in in the old memories. He wants to be stuck in time. The whole sequence of him running around his school, like
Yeah.
we at that moment we haven't seen him, be in his school, but we still connect with him. We still feel for him when he's going around the classrooms and everything, because we imagine our school, our colleges. I remembered Holy Family, those days.
Those days.
So that's something we haven't even seen him. You know, we haven't even seen him in that school, college, like his what do you say, the backstory. But you
Yeah.
still connect to him. And no wonder he's a photographer, he wants to be in that frozen time, which he has captured perfectly.
It's good.
Again, too deep.
Too deep. I'm in too deep and I'm trying
But
to
man, the
keep.
moment, her name is Trisha, the actress. The moment
Yeah.
she came on screen, I fell in love with her, man.
I don't know why, but the one who was portraying the
Younger? Yeah,
the
yeah.
college version, I don't know. I found her cute, man. Like I don't know why. She was just so cute, and in real life she's actually in college.
Yeah,
I
really?
think, yeah, I think she's doing her graduation right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I found her on Instagram.
Stalking.
No, it's so you're trying to tell me that you've never seen Shah Rukh Khan on Instagram or some shit like that.
No, not Shahrukh Khan.
Who then?
I'll not. I prefer not to say.
There we go. Stalking.
Moving on. Yeah, man, this movie was lovely. It redefines what a love story or love, rom com movie is. It has so many funny moments. In the party when he is sitting with her and eating, and everyone, all his friends are giving him thumbs up. Like it's so childish,
Exactly.
And I remember these things happen in school when
In
they're
school,
doing
exactly.
flames in school. Like these things are so authentic, and so it's like nostalgia.
Did you ever have a crush in school?
Of
Can't
course, who
remember. I can't
doesn't?
remember. Can't. Who re?
uh Moving on.
Give me the first letter. I'll know.
S N, lot. I have a lot. Some are even
SN is
teachers.
her. SN is her initials.
No, S is a different and
What
N
is
is a
S's
different.
initials?
No, I'm not. Okay, let's move on. We
No,
can't.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no,
make
no.
it public.
No, yeah, no, it's not being public. No one knows about it. What's SN? What's S's initial? Is it SN? So my guess is right.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. I don't know what you are thinking, but did I never told you about this or? We are
I
going
have told. I
very
think you
far
told
from
me
the
of a
topic.
different one.
We are going very far from the topic.
Yeah, fine,
Let's,
fair enough.
yeah. So, 96, I love the film.
Wonder what it would be if the name was 69 instead of 96. Like
It's a family
I'm,
friendly show.
I'm curious, man.
No, it's a family friendly show. So, any last thoughts?
Uh, Beautiful movie. Again, the ending, I felt like it could have been better. It was perfect. I'd say it was perfect in terms of like the way it was portrayed. It's just that if was it happy or not, that's something I don't know. That's something
But does it really matter?
I don't know. I find it like me to me it matters. To me it matters. Like I wish I knew what happens. Like I wish
Doesn't it kill the fun of the film when
no no
you
no.
get a distinctive
See,
ending?
like it's like for me I'm putting it like in a different way. Like I told you, I have the same fear, right? Like I have the fear of like what if I'm never able to move on from something, right? So I wish like okay, something happened, like something they would have showed something in the movie, like he moved on or something. So I know, okay, it's possible. He waited all this time. It's possible to do so, but they didn't do that. That's why I'm saying, like in my opinion, I wish that something happened, like he moved on or
Don't you
something
think
like that happened.
him putting her clothes in the trunk is moving on?
It could be something like that, but it also at the same time it could be he's just still hasn't this because he kept all the other things that time. It could mean both ways.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, so we don't know that.
That's true.
But yeah, that was like my whole perception of the movie. It was a beautiful movie though.
Yeah, that's
Everything
true.
about it was really like well done. It's really beautiful.
You know,
So yeah,
I asked people if the song she was singing, is there
yeah,
anything particular about it? Anything which I
okay.
don't know.
And
Even the authenticity in when they were doing the WhatsApp chat, they were sending
yeah,
memes of the famous Tamil actors. How people like us will do. It is so
yeah.
authentic, and so the reunion was amazing. It felt so real.
It felt like you were part of it. Like, okay, that is how an actual reunion would
Yeah,
be.
the jokes, the hidden, the
Hidden meanings, like
yeah,
only the friends, those
yeah,
particular friends would know.
inside
And
jokes.
like, yeah, like classic students, classic kids, like,
And the best thing is, there's no villain. There's no,
there's no villain,
not
exactly.
even villain. There's not a different guy who's trying to, create differences between them or something,
Mm.
misunderstanding,
It
or
was
love
just their,
triangle. There
it
was
was just
nothing
their
like that, and
issues.
I
That's it.
loved, I loved it was purely them together, and the circumstances were the villain. The circumstances were the
The
enemy,
circumstances was a
and
villain,
and even
yes.
even even the twist, man, that he came to her college, he came to her wedding. Oh
Yeah,
my, that
dude,
when
that
he
was
when he
like,
said that, I lost my mind.
that had to hurt. I felt that, dude. I genuinely felt that, like, shit.
Just before she said, I
Like,
felt
yeah,
like you were
I
there.
felt you, I felt you were there and all that. But then I was like, dude, that was just, that was, that was sad.
They didn't had big brains.
Big brain time. It was, I like the way it was portrayed though. Like, I really loved it. I first thought like he would fall in love with his students, like one of the one who used
Yeah,
to,
yeah, even I was thinking that.
because it made sense, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe we just wanted to cling on to something happy.
Yeah,
That's maybe that was our thing. Maybe
our
we just wanted to cling
expectations.
on an expectation. Yeah, okay, maybe he'd be happy with this person, but no, that didn't happen. So
maybe
yeah,
he accepted when he was at her wedding. He accepted the fate that they were not meant to be together, and he's
he
happy
did. He
knowing that
did.
she's married and he wants to remember her. And when
Hmm.
he gets married to someone, he has to forget her, right?
Yeah, but again, still nothing's been like It still ended in a cliffhanger.
Like,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
we have to think it's open ended. Like, we have to decide
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
I think we have we have come to an end. It's
We've come
been
to an end.
it's 1.5 hour now we are recording this. I hope
Oh,
I don't
really?
lose any data. So guys, thank you for listening. If you're still listening, you are jobless, get a job, do something in life. Just kidding, just kidding. If you're still listening, thank you. Hit a like, subscribe, share, a comment, whatever you feel like, and we'll love to do more things like this. Talk about this, talk about movies. We love watching movies, and yeah, Tamil cinema has proved to be like really something I want to watch and want to dive into. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff coming out which has already come. There's a lot of movies I didn't include in this because I want the other two guys to watch all the films we're going to talk about, and it's very difficult for both of them to watch all the films. So these three were the top picks. Still, Varun couldn't manage 96, but it's okay. He'll watch it soon. You can ask in the comments, has Varun seen the film yet? And yeah, that's it. So, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you, Josh, for joining
Yeah,
us.
man. My pleasure. Big brain time.
Uh, let's stop it. Yeah. End.